Oh, who is she? Who is she? It's me, your girl. Yeah, I'm gonna be going live with Bruno once he gets on. We're gonna be talking about knowledgeable things in the industry and helping you guys out, hopefully. I'll just wait for him to come on and then he'll be talking, I'll be talking. I'll post this up to my page so it can be rewatched, and maybe at halftime we'll like do the same on Bruno's account. I'm doing great today, thank you. Hello, 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 g'day, g'day, how we going? This is a very professional conversation about photography and modelling, so I've got my sparkly cup. Hey Bruno, okay, I can invite you now. Let's go, Bruno! View. We are going to be talking about things and stuff. It's basically just a Q&A. What time now? It is 6:30. It's Bruno! Hang on, I need to get headphones.
Oh no, it's just it's better for me. I just don't like
Okay. No.
hands-free stuff.
Okay, cool. As long as I can't hear. Oh no, that's great. Cheers. Yeah, okay. So I can't hear my feedback because you got headphones in, so that's a great idea. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. So when this gets posted, I'm gonna post it on like my thing. People are gonna have to go to my account to watch this back. And I was wondering if at like halftime you wanted to start it on your account on Instagram and I'll join yours, if that makes sense.
Um, yeah, but
Because I don't
you can send me the video, right? So I can post on mine as well.
I think so. I'm actually not too sure. Do you want to check? Do you have a computer in front of you? Do you want to check that? I'm not too
Oh,
sure.
my computer is NBN, it's too slow. No, it's okay. No,
I know,
we
I know.
can just keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll post it and I'll do what I can. Yeah, cool.
Okay. So you are better with live than I am. So do you wanna take care of the whole like questions and
Oh,
stuff?
comments. Okay, the comments and everything. So
Yep.
basically, oh, good. People are tuning in. So this is Bruno. He's an agency photographer, not just a random stranger who I invited onto my live. And at the moment, like, I hope people know, like, people just know of your username because you do great headshots. So hopefully, if anyone asks, "Who's this? Why don't you ever invite?" Because I don't invite people into my lives, and you do the same. I don't know how many you do. I just do them for shits and gigs, basically.
Yeah, I never do. It's pretty much my first time, really.
So no, we did
Uh,
a great live video in your studio, actually.
oh yeah, that's right. But I wasn't talking to, you know, the camera.
Mm-hmm. I love pink hair. It's more red. I keep getting corrected by students that it's actually red. And then I hold it up to the light and they're like, oh no, it's pink. And then they're like, oh, it's actually pink. And then I get my street cred back. So
I can't see the pink color yet. Hopefully,
no, no,
I will see next week.
yeah, it
Yeah.
totally washes out. So that's all good. But at the moment, it's my apocalypse. Britney Spears 2007 breakdown hair. Um, what's better, Sony or Olympus? That's a good
Yeah,
question.
that's Will being funny. He because he moved from Sony to Olympus. I had an Olympus camera ages ago. I bought it and I sold it straight away. So I don't know. I like my Sonys. Um,
I noticed you blacked out a certain tattoo.
yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
So
talk about
I
personal.
I used to have a Canon tattoo and it's gone now because I'm trying to get some work with Sony, so I can't have that. And I am trying to post about this live video on Facebook. My NBN is just not working, so
Yeah.
I should on red. I wish. You know what the red is?
So I was just gonna mime what like this is the concept, and I'm like, I'm doing a Helga. I'm like, what's this? What's this thing? I don't know what that is. No idea.
Yeah, Red is a big, expensive video camera. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, and I can't. Oh, I can see more people. Ah,
You're just
sorry
scroll.
guys. Yeah, I'm learning how to use this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, scroll, and then you can see the people who tune in, and you go, oh.
Hey Matt. Hey Kim. I'll say hello to people. Hello.
If you click wave, you can wave back to them, but I never do because I'm an asshole. But I also just prefer to say it in real life if I know them.
Wave.
Yeah.
I can't find that. That's all right.
No, you click. I'll wave to someone who I know. I don't know if you want to do that. Like you can wave back to them if you click wave. I'm just gonna
What
wave to like
is
just
what
click
is one
wave.
thing every photo? Ah, so I have to tap the person? What do I do? No, that's all right. I think
No,
only you
you
can do it. I don't have the
oh,
wave.
okay. Sorry. Okay.
What is the one thing every photographer should do on a model shoot? Touch the model?
Yeah, right up in her face. Ask them to do things that they didn't agree on. Definitely.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Jess is waving. Jess, I can't wave the thing there. I think for me is talk. Um, it's not about talking while you're shooting and saying things like, "Oh, yeah, you're doing great." No, it's not about that. It's just about talking before you start anything. I mean, I talk a lot, so usually when I'm shooting with a model, even it doesn't matter if I know the model or if it's a new model, I I usually spend like 30 minutes just talking before I even pick up the camera.
Yeah, that's what
And yeah, and it's not
it's kind
even
of
about the shoot, right? It's just about life and whatever, just to get to
yeah.
know the model.
It's kind of like a warm up, I guess. Because the more that you get spoken to, the more you can just relax. And models, I think, as a fact, just always shoot better when they're relaxed. Like the last shoot I did with Bruno was with Kane, and more of the speaking was to, well, A, catch up because Bruno and I are friends, but like B, like to relax Kane because he's never done modeling, and as a photographer, you're probably gonna work with a lot of people who haven't really done this a lot of times. So just speaking and being like, hey, I'm a human being, sort of breaks down a lot of walls. So
Yeah,
even with different personalities, like people are introverted, extroverted. Some people, like I'm someone who can sit in a car and not say a word, but still be really good friends with everyone in the car, for example, and just yeah, I can happily not talk, but communicating while you're working is good.
yeah.
I guess.
It's about like easing the situation. If the model doesn't know me, they get to know me because I talk a lot about everything. Um, and also, I like to know a lot about the model I'm about to shoot with. If they have dogs, boyfriends, because it's good to throw something halfway through the shoot if the model is too like serious or something. Because models like to be all like, oh yeah, pretty, pretty, and sometimes I want them to laugh or something so I can catch a special moment. And if I know more about them, the name of the dogs, usually dogs, cats, yeah, no, or chickens, the
I love how
boyfriend. Yeah,
chicken.
chickens, but and if I ask about the boyfriend, I can see the face, change, and I know if I should use the boyfriend's name or not in the shoot and stuff like that. And about what you said, like sitting in the car and not saying anything, it doesn't happen with me. I've done shoots where I had to pick up the model and then drive an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I don't shut up the whole trip.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, as a person, my personality type is I am very personable and I like to talk, but what I meant was I'm the sort of person who will get in a car, like an Uber, or like anything, and I just won't talk. And like, my person, like, I just don't talk to people. And there are photographers who aren't talkative or maybe they're nervous, but I think as a photographer, it's more comforting to be able to talk to your model, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I meant. And yeah,
and
Like,
it's
I'm happy to
funny.
sit in silence, but I won't happily shoot in silence. I feel like you need to actually have some sort of communication.
Yeah, but the funny thing is when I before I started this, like working with models, my biggest worry was what am I gonna say to them? This was 4 years ago, and so I'm almost 39 now. So I was like, I'm a 35-year-old guy, and I'm gonna take photos of 18, 19, 20-year-old girls, and my worry was like, what am I going to say to them? We have nothing in common, and it's that kind of thing. And once you start, you realize that you have a lot in common with everyone, and it becomes easier. But that was my worry, like, oh my God, I'm gonna be taking photos of these pretty young girls, and I don't know what to say to them. And it's amazing how much we can talk to anyone like about anything. It's
Yeah,
amazing. I'm a
yeah.
kid myself, so it's
No, I agree. 100%. Yeah. It's also just finding common ground, and because like you also like work for an agency, you work with like, older people who are like older than you and people who are like 20 years younger than you. It must be like very challenging. And how do you I'm gonna ask a question. There's like
okay.
something looking at my window. It's probably a lizard or like a gecko, and it's probably just bashing its head in or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, my question is, how do you communicate to like clients that are older than you, and do you ever feel like a little bit like they're gonna talk down to you? Do you ever get anxious about that? And how do you also, when you're like, I don't know, like, because I feel like creatives, even if they're older, they're gonna be like so stoked to be in your presence, but as a photographer, maybe people here are gonna have to like, photograph with people who are, 60, 70, 80, or, 8 years old or 9 years old. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, well, especially with the agency work, like last year alone, I photographed 420 people at the agency, just at the agency, not,
Yeah,
not even counting my private work. Um,
the gold
and
group or like,
most of them are not models. They just they want to be extras or actors, and they need headshots. So I photographed like from little babies all the way to I think the oldest person I photographed was probably 85.
how
Um,
would a baby, like,
uh,
just like the
yeah,
baby does.
usually the mom is holding. Depending if the baby can sit on their own, they will just sit. It's for commercials, so you always need babies for commercials. But uh, but it's just about that. Like ask questions and make sure you listen to them. That's it. Because there's no point, me sitting down there where they're getting the makeup done, and I'm waiting, and I ask stuff about their lives, and I don't listen to them. Then there's no point. So you have
Yeah,
to listen to them, because then by the time I get to the shoot, I know them, and they know me, and it's pretty easy, and everything is fun. Uh, and I also try to make these shoots really quick as well, because most people don't want to be there. They just need the headshots. But yeah, it doesn't matter how old they are. I always try to find something in common. There was an old lady that I shot. She was 75, and she was an opera singer. My grandmother was an opera singer, so there's always something that you can always find something that you can just talk to them about. And some of them will look at me and think, oh yeah, you look like my son, or there's always something. Little kids are a bit harder for me, just because of my accent, I think. They're not really used to accents yet, if they're really little. So it's a bit tricky. But if I get in trouble, I mean, when I'm working like that, I'm never alone. So I have a makeup artist that can help me. I have the parents are there, so there's always someone to help out. So
yeah. I mean, like, I can't, like, I work with kids too, for those who don't know, but like, I can't imagine having, I guess it's not behavior management, but it's just like kind of being like, hey, show me a normal face and show me how you can uh sell these like really cool attributes that you have about your personality so we can market you as an agency. Yeah, I just, communicating that to someone who's like 8 or 9 would be totally alien to me. And you're just there to like
yeah, it's
help.
tricky. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because that was my second worry when I started, was my accent and the fact that English is my second language. I was like, oh my God, I'll have to talk to people a lot. And look at me now, I'm teaching photography. You know, I'm teaching.
I think people will be like, whoa, he's so well, like he's traveled, he's a photographer from other countries. Probably what people think. Like they must be, oh, man, he's traveled to be here today. Like, okay, yeah, I am. Bruno, you're ignoring Naomi, so Naomi asked, what's the best way to approach or work with models when wanting to do nude or implied nude so they don't feel like you're a creep?
I think that's a question for both of us. On my side, I think, first of all, don't approach models that don't have nudity in the portfolio to start with. You know, if you want to shoot with a model and you want nudes, make sure that you find something in the portfolio that, you know, tells you that they do it. It's tricky because there's always that thing about, you know, you organize a shoot and you discuss the shoot beforehand, and then you only do what you discussed. I used to be like that, and I think that is a good thing to do, but I don't worry too much anymore because I'm more about, you know, how the shoot's going, and because I don't post anything like that, I think people trust me a lot.
But how do people, from your point of view, you don't post anything like that? From my point of view, I kind of do, kind of don't. Like, I'm not open about doing. Sorry if you can hear my drink fizzing away. But you said if they actually do that sort of work, and I try to keep it low key, like that I do it, but I also don't. And as a model, it's important to keep it that way. But how do you, as a photographer, know whether that's what they're open to?
Well, if they have something like that in the portfolio, you know,
Yeah.
if I see one photo in your Instagram where you've done it, then there's no harm asking. If I can't see anything in your portfolio showing that you've done it and you were open to it, I think it's just how you ask. You can say, oh, look, I would love to shoot with you, but this is like, you know, it's not like my normal work. There's a bit of nudity. Send inspiration photos. Look, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, inspiration shows that you've done your research, and also, if you are going through their portfolio and you see that they have done like art nude or implied, and they decline you as a photographer, not that Naomi's not one of these people at all, just to clarify. So if you are a photographer and you see that they've done similar work to what you have in mind, and they choose not to work with you, don't send them screenshots of the work that the model's done to show, oh, but you actually do work like that. You're lying, but like it may be other reasons. For models, FYI, just say you're unavailable if you don't want to work with that person. Or okay, so when Bruno first approached me, I said, oh, sorry, I don't do TFP. And, you know, it just wasn't the right timing for either of us because we both grew since then, you know, as professionals.
No. When I first messaged you, I had no idea what I was doing. I was in the same situation. How do I approach people? And I asked you to do TFP, and I was just starting. I had no portfolio to show for. Why would you do TFP with me?
Exactly.
And I thought, okay, that's fair enough. You just said to me, look, oh, I'm sorry, I'm only doing TFP with select people that I already know, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, that's fair enough. You know, who am I? You know, you've been modeling for longer than I was a photographer. So when these things happen, if a model tells you that they don't want to do TFP with you, it could be because they are already in a different level, or it could be because your work is more like what they've done already and they don't need that in the portfolio.
Or because they, an excuse, or not excuse, it can be if it's not what they want to show. So, for example, you're not
Yeah.
the example, because I didn't look at your work, or I did actually look at your
I
work.
didn't have much to show anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. So what I do is I scan their work, and then if it's something that I don't like, it's tacky or it's whatever, then I'll say sorry, I don't do X, Y, Z, which is to protect my community, to protect my image, and
Yeah,
you need.
but the main thing, the two things that you should always take from a no, when you get a no as a photographer, if a model says no to you, and maybe a model if a photographer says no, two things. One is don't take it personally. It's a professional choice, and two, it's what I did with Annaliese. You aim to improve, so one day you're good enough for them, right? So Annaliese saying no to me actually made me learn more and quicker, because I said to myself, well, one day I'll either be able to afford Annaliese for a shoot, or we will shoot TFP, right?
Yeah, you just are like, hey, can we shoot Kane's face on a t-shirt because I felt bad for this joke. So,
Well, I'm wearing your shirt.
oh, you are.
Of
Lol.
course.
I didn't
And,
realize it touched
and
off.
it's funny because the last person to wear it was Kane.
Oh, gross. Ew, you're like, yeah, I don't know if he's
Uh,
watching. Is he watching?
I
Oh
think he
man,
is.
I'm gonna tell him he's not watching at the moment because you can tell who's watching. He's gonna watch it and then just be like, oh, gross.
I saw
But
him
he's not.
coming in, but maybe he left. All right, let's check this. I can read
Yeah.
the stuff.
Oh no,
I am
Naomi's
very smart.
questions, which I love. Okay,
We're having
yeah.
wine too, Naomi.
Well, mine's fizzy pink drink, and it's wine, but it's like strawberry wine, so it's like gross, but it's also
Uh,
like really good. It's gross to you, is what I'm saying. It's like yummy to me. It's Annaliese. So I drink it in a sparkly cup because professionalism. Throwing out questions. Okay, what's your fave? Even though I have my wine cup from you, Bruno,
yeah, where is it?
but I only drink red wine in it. I'm not drinking red wine. I'm
Okay.
drinking pinkish
Okay,
wine.
fair
So
enough. I also
cup.
have water because I'm responsible, so I have both.
I actually do too. See?
Very good. What's last Naomi's question? I'm just
Do you want to read it?
Okay, what's my favorite thing and worst thing I came across in the shoot for both you and me? Okay. Ooh. Wow. My favorite thing, and so it was about a month ago. I was shooting with Jazz May, my good friend, and oh, she's there. Oh, okay. Anyway, and the thing about Jazz May, who's watching, she's an amazing model, and she was the only model. She was the only model I just couldn't get a real emotion out of her, and yeah, about a month and a half ago, I did it, and I got a bit emotional. Even like it was amazing, because that's what I really like to do, is to get emotions out of models. And how come I can't do it with the model I work the most? Because Jess and I shot over 20 times in under 12 months, and it happened, and yeah, it was amazing. The
Aw.
worst thing that happened, I don't know. My shoots are usually so much fun. I have so much fun. I never had like a massive problem. I had some bad clients, but it's just part of the game, I guess. I had
I have
some.
another question. I'm like, what makes a bad client? But we'll do the
Oh,
question and then I'll come back to that. So
okay. An example is a client I had for headshots. That was a long time ago. I was just starting as well, and she was just like too much. She was calling me ahead of the shoot a lot. It's okay to call me and message me, and I'm always open to answer questions, but she got to a point where she called me. The shoot was like a Friday, 9 a.m., and she called me at Friday, 8 a.m., And she was on the phone for half an hour, and I need to get ready and prepare the studio, you know. And it was like just chill. And
Right.
yeah, she. But basically, then she came to the shoot, and then so before she booked, I actually said I wasn't the right photographer for her because I was thinking she was going to be a problem, but then she insisted, and I didn't follow my gut, and I said yes. And then she came to the shoot, we shot, and we had fun. I usually give my clients more than they are paying for. So, you know, you paying for a quick headshot, and I will do something else for you as well. And I did that for her. And then she came back to me a couple of weeks later saying that her agent didn't like the photos. And I'm like, why not? And then she came up with some weird things, and then eventually the agent became a potential agent. And then I realized, like, it's a very long story, but I realized that she didn't have an agent, and this potential agent didn't want her, and it was blaming me just to try to get out of it.
If they're doing shoots, they need like the actual agency. If they're saying, "Oh yeah, this is my agent," you need to like say the agent. You can't just be a dickhead about it. Like,
yeah,
it was. If you have an agency, tell the photographer the agency you want to apply for, and the photographer can adapt their style. Perhaps I feel like if I was like a photographer and like Bruno, I could be like, oh yeah, this model wants to go for Q, this model wants to go for, you know, they're on their website, they have different images, and the photographer can do different research. So just be honest. If you are not like a model client to an agency, just tell them.
Yeah, it was a tricky situation. I had to sadly block this person everywhere, even like phone numbers and stuff, because it was bad. But
hang on. I want to talk to Jess about the new models. I had this like asked on a live video. I think I just did it randomly the other evening. It was just like Tuesday. I was like, okay, screw it. And someone asked a really good question, and they were like, do you remember like what your first nude shoot was? Sorry, phone. Nude shoot was, and I said no because I remember my first actual model photo shoot, but I don't remember like my actual like first shoot like that, because everything that I did regarding like art nude or whatever was very selective and artistic, so that I don't even actually remember who, but I remember my first photo shoots. So I feel like I was integrated into this art as only an art with nothing more added to it. So, but if you are a model who wants to delve into that, or you're hesitant, so research the photographer's name on Google, Instagram, portfolios, check with them what they're actually going to photograph, kind of thing. And also when you get to the studio, if it's your first time ever, if it's a studio, not like in a public forum, feel free to offer the question of, can I bring my friend? Can I bring my brother? Can I bring my sister? Can I bring my boyfriend? And if they say no, then that's like, it's a red flag immediately. So yeah, like Bruno's had Kane around. Bruno would happily, if we have a shot together for the first time and Kane actually wanted to see Bruno and me, like, you know, Kane's been there for so long, and I've done like nude shoots with Kane, not with Kane, but like with a photographer, and he's been on YouTube in the corner, like just chilling. But if a photographer is not actually a true professional, they're going to be really, you know, even if they're offering the pay, or whether you were like a TFP or just wanting to do it for your website or their website or whatever, just ask questions and don't feel guilty for asking questions, kind of thing.
yeah, I actually think if you haven't done it before and you want to bring your boyfriend, make sure your boyfriend is okay with it, because it can be tricky. But the main thing is, I think find a photographer you trust to do it, because here's the thing. If you haven't done it, it means you still don't know if you want these photos out there, and you need to find someone that you know you can talk to and make a decision. You know, like, are these photos going to be posted somewhere or not? Where are these photos going? And that's why I've been having more and more people wanting to try that for the first time with me, because I don't post them.
Amazing. I'm so happy.
This is like my artistic side, so I don't need to post them, because all my social media and my website, it's my business, and I don't need that.
Like,
So,
not
yeah.
with like an actual. You can't see Bruno's work like that unless you go to his studio.
Yeah, you have to
And
come to me and see it.
you have to have permission to see it, and that is the best thing for any photographer to adopt. You can't just hand out this stuff.
No,
And
unless it's someone I trust, I might send a photo over the wire to someone I trust. That's okay. But if someone messages me asking to see those photos, if I do that, oh, do you do that? Can I see the photos? I mean, how do I know it's actually, you know, a female potential client on the other side? I don't know. So, yeah,
more photographers asking, "Oh, can I see your previous work?" I'm like, "What? Do you need to know that I like have all the required?" Even though many other aspects, but you know, you could. I'm talking about like trans and everything. I don't know if they want to know that I'm actually like a girl, or like, I don't know why they want to see it apart from being a perv. Seriously.
yeah. No, look.
You have a week in all my photos. What does it matter?
Yeah, to just like, I think the short answer for that question is find someone you trust and try for the first time with that person, and see if you're comfortable. And then if you're comfortable, after that, there's a lot more to think about safety and all that. But the first time, I think it has to be with someone you trust.
Yeah.
Because, you know, maybe you decide you don't like that, and then you don't want those photos up there.
I need to say weirdest prop. Not
Oh.
roller. I had a strange prop, and I can't like roller skates.
Oh, your bunny tail thing.
Oh yeah, the bunny ear tail. The shower scrubber. So William he gave us the actual ears, and Bruno was like, "Shit, I didn't have a bunny tail," and it was like a shower scrubber. But that's not even it. Like it was so obscure. It was strange, and I can't even remember. It was not the shower scrubber. Toilet paper. I did it with
Oh.
Actually, it hasn't been released yet. So I did over, I think before the whole shutdown, maybe, hang on, I've got it on my calendar. It was, sorry, someone's revving up their car and they have a small penis and they need the world to know it. People do that, just saying. On the 21st, I did a shoot with Peter, and we did a coronavirus themed shoot, but like he just like, as an amazing creative who can do like, you know, was wanting to book models before we went into total lockdown, was like, hey, models who rely on this as a sole income, we'll shoot. And we shot the concepts, and then we had like an hour left because I shoot quick. And then I was like, let's just do coronavirus memes so we both have content. And we shot with like a pyramid of toilet paper and me with like disinfectant guns and stuff. And it was like totally fun because he gets content, I get content, and just making a pyramid of disinfectant, like, you know, all this stuff. It was strange.
Oh, I styled Jess May with cling wrap.
Yeah,
plastic foot wrap. Yeah,
we
did that one.
Yeah,
we did that one. I had bandage as a top. I don't know. I don't use lots of props because usually my shoots are about the model, but sometimes, yeah, you want to get creative and you just use whatever you.
What are your thoughts on distancing now for photo shoots? I feel like well, just alone today, I've had people message me or clients. Like, I'm meant to be mentoring a model this weekend, and I've had the client who I've got the studio booked for, and the model who's booking me. They've asked if I'm okay with it, and I had to tell them I've been working around children all week. If you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, and I'll keep my distance, and we'll just, we'll do what the government says. I mean, we have less than 4 people in a room. With the social distancing, I can still mentor people, 4 people, 1 room, 1.5 meters. But the fact that governments have kept schools open, I mean, Bruno, just come to my prep class. We can do photo shoots. I mean,
Yeah, I want to say something about. Yeah, I want to say something about that, and then I want to answer to Jeffrey. So we are planning a live photo shoot, online live photo shoot, hopefully for next week, before we actually get locked down. And the idea is to have it, and one is in the studio. So for the natural light one, I already got a mask today. Finally got my hands on a face mask for me, because as long as one of us is wearing a mask, we should be okay. And the natural light one, I will only shoot with my 135, so I can keep my distance. And in the studio, I will be wearing a mask, and my studio is quite small, but I think we can do it.
Definitely abide by the requirements. It's a
Yeah,
big
no,
suit.
yeah,
It's a good shoot.
yeah. For the photos we want to replicate to show people how to do it, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But we will make sure that everything is safe. I am staying safe as well. I'm not going out all the time. My wife's working from home now, so we're not going like crazy. And you're staying safe, so we should be okay. So if the government doesn't lock us down, we should have something really cool coming
Yeah.
next week, hopefully.
And
And
like, I've been transparent. I've told Bruno, hey, I've been working in the school for the past 5 days, and I'm working
yeah,
tomorrow.
it's okay. The hardest thing is gonna be like not hugging, and it's like, oh, my friend, I haven't seen you in a month and I can't hug you. That's gonna be hard. But so Jeffrey asked if I ever have. Sorry.
Do I get to meet your wife?
Yeah, she'll be home, just from afar, because we're not supposed to get close. But,
No, okay.
and she will be working probably, because she's actually working from home. I'm sharing the office with her, so that's her desk there. We are sharing the office. So Jeffrey's asking if I ever shoot with another person in the room other than the model, because these days photographers getting caught for harassment and stuff like that. Yes and no. My studio is small. Basically, my studio is a converted garage, and it's like 3.3 by 6. So it's really hard to have people in the studio with me. I am not a weirdo. So I don't worry about that most of the time. If I have a bad vibe from the model before the shoot, when I'm talking to them, then I just cancel the shoot. If I think that person is a bit off, I will just cancel the shoot. I'm not going to shoot with a person that I think it could be out and go out and lie about me. I can't have that kind of thing. Even though I know a lot of people would come to my defense, once that happens, I'm done. Right now, if someone goes out and says that I did something, I'm done. So also my studio, Annaliese has been here quite a few times. My studio is built to make the models comfortable. It's a garage, but I never lock the door. I have these doors that I made that let the natural light in. It's easy to get out. So I don't see a reason. Yeah, and I don't mind having, if the model wants to bring someone, it's fine. I have a little corner where the person can sit and stay, and I'm going to be talking to that person a lot because I talk a lot. So
Yeah.
I have an assistant, Easy. And the idea of getting a female assistant was to, you know, if I need someone to be there with me.
Yeah, highly recommend do that, because if I was a model who's like, I wish that when I was 18, 17, even I was 17 when I went to modeling, and I was just turning 18. People were like, yes, she's now 18. And I had photographer friends from my cosplay community that would accompany me to my photo shoots who I trusted, who like I actually did trust, and they would drive me and they would accompany me. And if not for certain photographer friends, I probably would have had way more bitter experiences than I do now. I only have like one or two of the, I have two experiences that are poor regarding feeling safe, or not even safety. I mean, like, you can, you know, say no, but just when you feel energetically like that person is weird, kind of thing, or they have
I offered already a few times to models just starting out. They come to me and like, oh, this guy's a bit weird. He wants to shoot with me, and I say, look, if you're not comfortable and you can't take someone with you, charge double and we split, and I'll go with you. That's it. Yeah.
I wonder how, like, how that works for you. Like, when you have someone in, like, if they just say, I want to bring my brother or my mom, like, how you feel about that? You just sort of like chill because you're professional.
I don't mind. I always say just bring one person because my studio is small.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. I also say, look, bring someone who you are comfortable with, because the last thing you want is someone there that will make you feel uncomfortable as well. Are you a bit shy of posing in front of this person, or or someone who will be distracting? Because in the end of the day, we have a job to do. It doesn't matter if it's paid, if it's TFP, we have a job to do. So someone who will be distracting you and checking social media all the time and showing you all the time. I had that before. It's hard. So
You, oh, I got this BTS of you, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not on my phone half the day. Bruno's like, hey, I posted to this group. Have you seen it? I'm like, no, I'm not checking my phone all day.
yeah, look, you know, usually whoever you bring, I will make sure the person is welcomed, and I talk to that person as well a lot, because I teach photography. I'm always talking about what I'm doing, so I try to make that person comfortable and not bored as well. But if that person start to get in the way, then it's a bit of a problem, and especially for the model. You know, if the person is getting in my way, I'll be like, all right, hang on, let's
anyone, like,
let's fix
that's
this.
why I don't like Kane, because it's not that he puts me off, it's just that I know that some photographers don't have a big face. Like, I mean, gotta refill, man. But anyway, some photographers don't have a big space, otherwise I'll totally invite him after I felt comfortable. It's A, he's too busy, B, I'm like, you're probably gonna get bored, C, space, as much as he would love you and Helga, you know, space. But yeah, never feel hesitant to bring someone. Just make sure they're not snapping BTS when it's not okay, because some photographers don't like the final product to be shown as a model. Because in social media, models are like, oh yeah, BTS, I'm important, blah blah. You can do that, but like submissions for magazines these days, just be very careful.
Yeah, I really don't mind about BTS, people taking photos of the photos on my screen. I really don't mind as long as it's appropriate. You know, you're not gonna take a BTS of a model topless posing, you know, something like that. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. But I don't care about people getting BTS about my lighting. I mean, I'm very open about what I do, and I show people what I do. I teach it. So I don't mind as long as it's appropriate. You need to know when to do it. Yeah.
Magazine submissions. Just for some who submit to magazines, like some in some cases for models, just be cautious that whether like you have a big makeup thing and they don't want that to be released on the internet or whatever. So just always ask everyone, not just the photographer.
You have a job to do. I will get some more wine, and you just check the questions and make some notes, because we are ignoring most of the questions.
Like a sensible person. Okay, ask their ask before they shoot. Yeah. Okay, go get wine,
Okay.
Bruno.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
See, this is the thing. The balance between the model who thinks of things before they photo shoot, which is I think is the thing, because they take care of themselves, they make sure they get enough sleep before, they make sure, you know, their hair's good. Photographers be like that. Okay. Anyway, what's been my favorite shoot? I don't like. I always enjoy, and as you know, like I'll always like I post to Instagram regularly, and I do these photo shoots regularly. So I always post the photo shoots as soon as he sends them to me on Facebook. So Bruno's not always up there. He can't see, can't hear me. I was just saying. So the question was, FYI, what's been your favorite photo shoot? And I said Bruno's not always up there because he posts like raw content. As an actress, I also like to market that as myself, but that's, you know, firstly the thing that I post on my Instagram because I do cosplay. But personally, it's just there's so many subcategories of favorite shoots. I really love the roller skate one we did. That's always going to be a favorite. Anything with big makeup for me, like prosthetics. I've done so many prosthetic stuff that I really, really enjoy. But that it's subcategories. And okay, questions only need to be answered by anyone who is a new model and concerned about safety and security. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so bring someone. What are your my dream shoot? Something you haven't done but would love to do. What's your dream shoot? I'm gonna think, because Matt, like, I've done underwater shoots. I did an underwater shoot with Matt, and I thought it was real cool. But
You did one with Craig.
yeah,
You did too. Yeah, Craig's
I
really
did
cool.
Matt had never shot underwater before, like doing that shoot, and he just jumped in with shoes on, pants on, like, you know, everything, the whole thing. It was very cold that day. So it was like this rush of adrenaline when we went underwater, and we'd come up and be like, "That's the stuff. That's the good stuff." But I don't really know. Dream shoot.
Mhm.
I always really like vintage stuff, but I like freckles and edgy. I like Kate Moss, which is why I love shooting with Bruno. Maybe I really like androgynous, like something that can make me look like I don't know, like actual ties and things that accentuate collarbones and freckles and like hair slicked over to the side kind of thing. Like that's my vibe. I really, really like that kind of thing because as a cosplayer we're so very sexualized, and that's why I like shooting with Bruno. Yeah. But what's your dream shoot, Bruno?
I don't really have one dream shoot. I've been trying to do a bit more. So basically, my favorite photographer is Peter Lindbergh, who died last year, and I've been trying to get more inspired about, you know, with his photos and try to get that kind of thing. But I mean, we're talking about massive productions. You know, Peter Lindbergh, before he died, his rates were 100,000 euros a day. You know, the productions are insane. The teams involved. It's really hard to do that on your own. So I've been trying. So most of the photos we did for the Kate Moss shoot were Peter Lindbergh's, right? Some were Mario's, but yeah. So I don't have one specific dream shoot. It's more about getting inspired by the photographers I love, and Peter Lindbergh is the main one. So, you know, actually, because we're talking about this, because I had some questions sent to me before, and someone asked me what books to read about photography, and that's a very difficult question because I don't think nowadays you should be learning photography from a book. It's easier if you do it in other ways, like workshops or even online. It doesn't matter. But books about photography to get started, it's a bit hard. So if you like books and you wanna read a book on photography, find the photographers you love from before, most of them will have books.
Podcasts or YouTube videos. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if they're trying to be like, Corona and all this stuff, but
yeah,
I'm a book.
I have books about
Yeah.
photography here, and to be honest, I never really finished them.
Mhm.
But I do have one book from Peter Lindbergh, and it's big and heavy, and it's not here, it's downstairs. And that book inspires me. But if you are just trying to get started and learn how to use a camera, you can go to YouTube or you can go to a workshop. Books are not going to help you with that. But yeah, absolutely read books, of course, but more books about, or written by the people that you admire. So, Peter Lindbergh, Mario Testino, and Leibovitz, like, get these photographers that some are still going, some are gone, and get inspired. Reading a book to learn about ISO and aperture, that's like, no. All right, one's
YouTube.
crossed.
It does depend on the type of learner you are. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm a visual learner. I like to pick up a book, but it's also because at the moment I'm like, I'm going to avoid my phone straight up right now. I message you and then I'm like, I'm out. But David asked what was my most difficult shoot, and I had an experience. It was actually my first photo shoot of 2020. For the decade, it was the most horrible shoot ever. I think that Bruno probably knows about this, but there's another person on a bike, revving their bike with a very small dick. Okay. But anyway, this person on Star Now, we did an amazing photo shoot on before the new year. In public, in a forest, resonated with everything that I believe in and, what he said the shoot would be. And then we do a shoot, and I obviously, I can do art nude stuff, that's what I do. But he booked me for that, and he had a camera set up in the corner sneakily after, before, as I was picking up my things, I noticed it, and it was super sus. But before that, if you're doing a pose, you don't really notice that they're trying to angle their camera, and it was camera, and then if he thought I wasn't paying attention, he would angle and then come back up, and he wouldn't show me the photos or he'd divert the conversation. And honestly, I was just scared and I just wanted to get out of there. So he gave me the money, and my rates are XYZ per hour, and he gave me XYZ for the whole photo shoot. And before he actually gave me that cash in hand, it was XY before I left, and then I waited and spoke to him, and then he gave me Z before I left, and it was very traumatic, and it sort of put me off doing that kind of work for a long time, even between people who I'd worked with previously, not Bruno, but people who I'd shot with once before because of that experience. So I always recommend just if you're I'm 7 years into this, 6 years into it, I didn't even figure that, hidden stuff. You just need to be very careful. But also, I never would have figured. It still happens, unfortunately. You just need to be very careful.
yeah. I actually thought about installing security cameras in my studio because it's a garage, so it's facing the street. It's easy to open if you want. And I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna. Imagine if.
Yeah. It wasn't even that. It was actually a thing on a tripod, and he was like, "Oh, it's a lighting device." And I thought that looks a bit too much like a camera. I'm gonna go over to it. And I was like, "Well, actually, it's just the camera just the lighting," and I'm like, "That is blatant bullcrap." But I honestly just wanted to leave. So you live and you learn.
Yeah.
The thing is, this guy doesn't have social media, and I have blacklisted his name on Star Now, and every single person. He's been, he's screwed.
Yeah, we if you guys go to my website and click on blog, and then you scroll down a little bit, there's a post about model safety, and there are 5 interviews with models. One of them is Annaliese. So just watch those videos. We have Annaliese, Jasmine, Bella, two Bellas, and Christine. Yeah, Christine. So very different models across, with different experiences, and it's worth watching if you're starting. Yeah. I have another question from the same guy from the books. He asked me. So this guy, he has a camera. He does street photography, but he never worked with a model before, and he asked me how to find an affordable model to do an urban shoot. Here's the thing about this. All models are affordable if you can afford, like you get what you pay for. So you can find free models when you're just starting. If you go for free models, you're going to get models just starting. So basically, it's the blind leading the blind. You don't know what you're doing. The model doesn't know what you're doing. You can find models anywhere. Model Mayhem, start now, Facebook, Instagram, or you can go to agencies.
Model Mayhem.
Yeah. So look, from my experience, when I was starting, I actually had a good job, and I could afford models, and I didn't want to pay them because I had other stuff to pay for, like equipment. And what I think is, if you hire an experienced model, you learn faster. All right, and it's that simple. Because then you're paying for the model. She knows what she's doing. You have time to figure your settings and that kind of thing. And the same goes for models. If you're starting, you have no idea what you're doing, find a photographer who actually knows how to coach a model and that kind of thing.
And for new models we're watching who haven't had apt experience and they want to go into modeling, highly recommend Bruno. He used to say he can understand personality. He's worked with models and actresses. So if you're an actress wanting to delve into modeling or wanting headshots, Bruno. I've recommended to you in messages who have gotten.
And this is very important for models, because here's the thing: as a photographer, as a person who wants to be a photographer, you have all the time in the world, right? You can just take your time, keep shooting and learning, and all that. As a model, you don't.
No.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. So if you want to fast forward your modeling career, you have to work with people who can actually teach you something, because you don't have all the time in the world, especially if you're starting late. If you're not 14, So don't think about, oh, this model is expensive or this photographer is expensive. Think about what you can get out of it.
I actually agree. Yeah. You think about like the models that, I mean, it's not such a big deal now because of, it kind of is, but kind of isn't. Models now because of the diversity that we have going on, but 90s, 2000s, 80s even, they're like 14, 16, 17-year-old models. And then as soon as they hit 20 or, 22, like they're gone. So, yeah, just putting it.
If you're just trying to start modeling right now, and you're over 14, no agency will take you. Except the talent agencies. Talent agencies will take you because they can actually send you to other jobs as well, not just modeling.
Yeah.
But if you think about just like modeling only agencies, they will not take you if you're just starting and you're not 14. Unless you have this look that, it's like
the eyes, the
out
eyebrows.
of this world.
Something
no one has seen.
Because I went overseas and like they picked like 25 out of the whole of Australia, and there were girls who were ranging from 14, yes, absolutely, but girls ranging to 30, and I was like, whoa, like what? But they did have these very individual looks, and we only have 25 seconds remaining, Bruno. It says
really?
25. Yeah, do you see that?
No, I can't see it.
Okay, well, we can start it back up on your thing for like a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
have
I'll be back.
wine, so I'm okay. So you close and I start?
I'll save it and yep, okay. Go to Bruno.
Okay.
Michael, Warwick. Oh, everyone's here except Annaliese. She's probably saving the video from before. Um, there we go. Oh, now I can wave at people. That's awesome. I can wave. Now I have full power. Oh, thanks, Stephen. I've been doing this for like 4 years, which is not a lot of time, but I think it's just you learn as you go, I guess. Matt, I can't hug you. We're not allowed. Helga is downstairs with my wife watching the news. I'm in the office upstairs with the door closed. Sorry, Michael. No Helga today. I don't even have a photo of Helga here. Josh, you're not just in time. Unless you were before, because we should be ending by now. But I think once Annaliese saves the video, she comes back, we can keep going. Okay, Jeffrey. Yeah. So with Jess, let me just double check how many times I shot with Jess. So I don't say anything that's not true. Jess May. So including workshops and things like that, I shot with Jess May 20 times. And our first shoot was April last year, end of April last year, so under 12 months. And we became really good friends. And she's an amazing model. Everyone loves her. She really knows her stuff. But I was having real trouble getting, the emotions that I like in my photos out of her. And then it happened, when was the last shoot we did? Was on the 9th? Was it that one? No, it wasn't that one. It was the one before. 25th of Feb. So yeah, a month ago. I can't really show you photos, but maybe I can. Let me see. No. So to talk about how I got there, I mean, it took me 18 shoots to do it. I just, because we always have something to shoot, some idea. That one was, okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna get the emotion that I want from you. And I worked on that. So she came here with like very basic makeup, just her. And then she was sitting on a stool. I got a big softbox on her, 120 octabox, and I was just talking to her. I actually had my camera on a tripod, which I usually don't do. I like to freestyle, but I had my camera on a tripod with the back screen up so I could see, because I wanted to look at her the whole time, and I was just saying to her, just look at the camera and have thoughts. Think about your life. Think about what you love, what you hate. Just stop modeling. Don't model. I don't want a model face. Pretty. So she was just drifting and thinking, and she did it. And I felt a bit proud, but it's all on her. I mean, it's her emotions really. Uh, oh, Paul is here. Yeah, so that was a cool moment. Hey Paul, sorry, no Annaliese. She's still saving the video from the last hour, but she'll be here soon. Alright, oh, sorry, what's that? Yeah, Jeffrey, I hope that answers the question. It's really hard. It's just try to get them to stop modeling. So it's easier with new models actually to get emotions out of them. With experienced models, because they're so used to the photographers wanting like pretty. Oh yeah, just pose, pose, pose. It's harder. But I had to. Jazz is one of my best friends, so I couldn't believe, she was the only model I actually couldn't do that, and we got a bit emotional. It was like a beautiful moment. It was beautiful. Oh, look at Matthew and Paul being all like, and then reflect. Yeah, so there is this shot that I do, and it's kind of my signature shot, Stephen, which is just black and white, naked shoulders, just from here up. And I used to shoot that once I came up with the look. I used to shoot that at the end because I like to get some water on the hair and mess it up. But now I actually do that at the beginning when I'm coaching someone, because that's a way I can actually sit on the floor in front of each other, and it's just about the face, so I can see how they work the face. And if they're not working the face, they're just doing model face, I can ask them to I can talk about dogs and whatever, and get to the point where I'm happy with the face before we move on to something else. Oh, Annaliese is back. She wants to all over this Instagram thing. I love it. I'm an expert. Hello. You're
Hello,
back.
what do you mean I'm back? You're back. It times out after an hour, so
Okay, and now I'm on top.
yeah.
I can wave at people now. I know what you're talking about before. I can wave at them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
wave.
be interactive and such. Yeah, but I wanted to wait for it to upload. Plus, I had to lock up my chickens, so that was perfect timing actually. I had to go like lock up the coop and say, "Hey girls, good night."
Well, I was
And then
trying to keep everyone here, promising that you're coming back soon,
yeah.
and there you are.
No, but then we're like, "Hey girls, good night," and they're like, "What?" You just lock up the coop, and they're like, "What?" That's just how
So
it is.
yeah, so Admirals, I don't know how to say that.
David.
Said David. Ah, right. Yeah, because
Love
I've
David.
been talking to him. Yeah, he's talking about the Sports Illustrated thing. Yeah, it's funny because I had this awesome shoot with Minnie. She's an Indian model, and she moved to Melbourne now. And we went to Redcliffe because I wanted a really ugly beach space, and Redcliffe is quite ugly.
When you say beach,
Actually,
like
actually, it's
this.
that photo there.
Just
That
hang on.
photo. That
Bruno.
that photo. So Minnie was all like modeling, and I was just stop modeling. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Just be,
But Bruno,
Just,
when you say beach.
oh, it's my accent. It's my accent. Sorry,
But
I know.
I just tuned in and I was like, I didn't hear what the question was before, and I was like, I really wanted to, and I was like,
It's my accent. I don't call anyone a bitch. All right, if I say bitch, it's because
I
we're
know,
talking about
like I'm
we're talking
taking the
about the
piss,
ocean. We're
taking
talking
the
about the
piss.
ocean and surf.
Totally fine. Oh, my phone's plugged in.
Yeah, David, Adamless.
Annaliese, that's me. I just need to like prop my phone up because it's got the charger sticking in it. So I just need a device. not a portable tripod.
I am really into waving at people.
No, I'm like, can you wave to them? You're like, no, I can't. I'm like, you're missing out.
This is so cool. I can wave at everyone.
Interact. You flipped the camera, Bruno.
Oh, I didn't do
And
that.
I
I
felt
didn't.
bad for flipping the camera, and like I knocked my phone over. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are gonna think I'm unprofessional. And no, you can't even do that. Man.
It's a good thing there was nothing on my screen there, because like that's my second screen. Oh, and maybe I should show. So this is where I edit. That's my desk.
I'm trying to prop my
This is
phone
my
up with a wire sticking into it, so I'm sorry if it knocks over. I'm not touching it.
yeah my cable management. It's very good. No, it's not.
But,
Yeah, so
it's gonna catch fire soon. I'm surprised you didn't start the fire. ScoMo's
the
triggered.
problem is when
I'm
Helga. Ooh, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Problem is, like, Helga likes to stay there with the wires, so I have to fix that.
Did you
eventually.
see my my sage cleansing with my chickens? With Arlene? No, okay.
What?
You'll see it when you go onto actual Facebook. Like I don't go on social media a lot. I just sort of posted the video and disappeared. It was, Helga and I was thinking of my chickens, and so good. Okay, hang on. Annaliese, I want to thank you for allowing me to be introduced to this gentleman and genius photographic mindset of a photographer. So thank you so much sincerely. You're welcome. You're blessed by him because he's great.
I
Cleansing is
love
awesome.
your fans. Your followers are awesome.
Cleansing is so great, just in other words. But yeah, that was honestly just a meme. Basically, Bruno, you'll see it if you just go onto like normal Facebook. I was like holding up my chicken, sage, how people like have their sage worn.
Oh, I saw that. Yes. I saw that.
Anyway,
I saw that.
love sage, and yeah, I just thought of Helga. You should just make it a trend.
I could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, do it with Helga. It should become
She's only
a trend.
7 kilos. Yeah.
Yeah, Harley's like 20,000. She's so fat, but she's laid so many eggs.
So,
Man, since the virus, she's been laying eggs every single day. No break. No rest days. No rest days for Harleen. Anyway, do we have any questions about modeling and photography?
Oh, Warwick is asking, he's a fan of darker creative shoots, and he's asking if I ever been inspired to shoot this style. Well, a dark creative shoot is a bit broad.
It's a broad concept.
I like to shoot sad faces. I like that. I don't get too creative around that.
Because you see that you work with creatives and you don't like to take away from the creative, is what I get from Bruno.
Well, yeah, it's just I don't do any shoot that is like a lot. It's usually just the model and the emotion. So yes, I've shot quite dark image of models, but it's just the emotion that's dark. It looks sad and dark. Sometimes I had shot models. Sometimes it looks like they're gonna kill themselves, but they're not. They're just modeling. But yeah, I don't go too far with props and makeup and stuff like that now. Usually, yes, of course. It's just not my style. It's not what I do. I'm more about the actual emotion. It usually happens at the end of a shoot, so because then we can get the makeup all like running down or something. The makeup's already there. You just destroy it. Yeah, but yeah, I don't get to.
So what's your favorite emotion to capture from Annaliese?
Well, sorry,
Kate Moss.
Annaliese is my Kate Moss. So it's
You can do something different though.
But I mean, sometimes we're shooting, and then I out of a sudden, Annaliese will laugh.
When do you shoot like with Elle? We're both very spiritual children. me and Elle, another model, for
Yeah,
people who don't know. Yeah. But
I
I don't know
actually
how
have a
to.
script. I have a script for both of you. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
I have a fashion shoot to do with both of you.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
waiting for things to come back to normal and to
Yeah.
be cold. Yeah, it can't be in summer. Um,
No. Okay.
but yeah, Annaliese is my Kate Moss, so she can do a Kate Moss like no one else. So um, that's the emotion. It's just we came up with a verb. I don't know how
Yeah.
you say it. It's
You just
like
say, "Oh, Kate Moss," and I just sort of do it, and you're like, "Yeah."
yeah. Now I say Kate Moss me. Just Kate Moss me. Just like it's yeah.
The rest of my body's doing it, I promise. But it's just sort of whatever. Spiritually is real emotion deep. But this thing, after the photo walk with no, not it was a meetup with Elle. Kane drove Elle and I home, and we were just having the biggest conversation. No, not Kane. Elle's boyfriend drove Kane, who was sitting in the back reluctantly, and me and Elle were like talking and talking. Like, Bruno's so great. Now we should do this. Then we're talking about crystals and plants, and like, I went to a house. I was like, your house is so nice. I love it. And then Kane's like, time to go. I was like, no, no, no. But yeah, this is the sort of people that Bruno puts together. He sees people who work well together. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's really cool to, when that happens, people I
Yeah.
work with just connect. It's so cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I just want to say to Matt, he called me a grandpa with technology. Matt, I can actually hack you, right? That's how good I am with technology. Uh, I'm not into pro models. I can't picture Kate Moss unless she like really softens it. Okay, Stephen, if you don't
I
know Kate Moss,
I disagree. She's like a rock up with like with a hangover and like half a cigarette out of my mouth. That's Kate Moss to me, and she just is flawless no matter what.
yeah,
Just
it upsets me when I get a new model hiring me for a coaching because they want to be models and they don't know Kate Moss. It happens too often, which is really like bad. Um,
all the fact that you
Ki-
appreciate your Kate Moss, and I feel like that's good because I'm like, this is how I am, this is how I come, and like this is how I'm gonna model, and it is how it is.
yeah, well, Kate Moss was the last of the supermodels. If you really want to get into fashion photography, you should always, or to be a fashion model, you should always research the supermodels. Um, she was the last of them and probably the best. Even though I love some of the other ones, I love Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer,
I
Naomi
love
Campbell.
Jean
Um,
Shrimpton. Jean Shrimpton is my
yes,
yeah.
yes, and Christy and Linda, they're all amazing. But Kate Moss was the last of them, so she was a bit late to the game, and she was like,
But
uh,
she killed it. And everyone like makes fun of her. Like, oh, you get the London look. I'm like, she was great. It's like, what the?
yeah, I saw. I have to find this again, but I saw on Facebook someone shared a video. It was a 3 seconds video of Kate Moss sitting next. Kate Moss now, not in the 90s. Kate Moss now, sitting next to an Instagram model, and all these paparazzi taking photos of them, and it's like 3 seconds where the Instagram model looks at all the photographers with the same face, and Kate Moss looks at all the photographers and she has 10 different faces. It's just amazing. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's like going to Bruno's photo walk. You have to pull at least 30 different faces.
Yeah, because
But
you want everyone to have a different shot, right?
no,
And
no, I
everyone is
really
shooting at the
appreciate
same
it.
time.
Not only does it like provide like a really nice challenge for me, like I've done this for a while, you could say, but also you request models who are just new and it challenges them and they get to learn when they get challenged and they also only get challenged, but they get all these photos, they get connections. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. I mean, I think everyone gets something out of it. The photographers get good photos, and they can play with the cameras and settings. And it's very affordable. The models get to know other photographers and get to practice things that I haven't done before. And I always give new models training for the photo walk as well. You didn't
Yeah,
get training
definitely.
because you didn't need it. But
I'm just
all
like,
new models coming to photo walks, I give them training for free. So, and they get photos for the portfolios. I think it's really cool.
yeah, it is.
I can
Absolutely.
actually tell you, I'm building a system for the photo walk. Well, my NBN is slow. Models. Let's see
Like
if I
literally,
can.
I don't do live streams on my Wi-Fi. I just do data because
You,
I can't. I can't. Like the
you
lag is real. I can't do
yeah,
it.
you've been to 3 photo walks out of
Yeah,
5. Yeah, you were
yeah,
a
I'm like,
superstar in my rating system. You were the only
but
one who has been to 3. I have some models who have been to 2 photo walks, but you were the only one with 3. Yep.
but yeah, I understand they need to shoot different people to get better, so whatever. In the way Annaliese described emotion, that is defined as Kate Moss, seems to be very empowering and very strong, yet effeminate and still alluring. I like that emotion very much. But that's the thing. None of Bruno's photographs I see in an unempowering way. And the reason why I love to shoot anything, whether it's portraits, whether it's, whatever, whether it's art nude, everything that Bruno produces is empowering. I'm like, yes, I'm proud. Like, for example, if someone pulled a photo that Bruno took of me, in worst case scenario, pulled it up and mom, like for example, mom, who hates this whole sort of thing, it's like, hey, I found this, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be proud. I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. What of it? Kind of thing. And that's what I feel like any sort of model who's doing art nude or anything like that should feel. And if they're not, they need to have some sort of justification because that's the society we live in. There's whatever, but Bruno does everything in such a beautiful way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just make like I would be proud that anyone see any photo you
It's something my mentor taught me, Peter Colson, and it's something I take to heart. Um, I shoot for women, not for men. So, and it sounds simple, but it's a massive difference because if you're shooting for men, you sexualize women, and when you're shooting for women, you want to empower them, and it's a whole new level. And yeah, that's the main
yeah,
difference, pretty much.
100%. I flicked through. No, I don't show my mother any of these, but I show my friends. And I flicked through your work and someone who I'd worked with. They produce, um, technically good photos, very good. I've shared them on Instagram publicly, but they're good. But you compare, and I say, who did this person? Who do you like more? Every single time it's sorry, charges sticking up, but like, and it's always yours because you can see it in the eyes. Even though I'm confident in like whatever I shoot, it's always I feel empowered, and that's what it should always be, no matter what. And yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but that's the idea. I want people to look at the photo, and I don't want to be like a guy looking at the photo and being like, "Oh my God, Annalise is so hot." I'm so like, I want women to look at those photos and be like, "Wow, she's so strong and independent and confident," and I want to be like her. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephen. Yeah, we were supposed to have photo walks every 45 days this year, but it's not going to happen. So once we are allowed to congregate again, like 40 people together, then we'll do it.
That's kind of why Bruno and I were like, that is Anna all over, because David's like subscribed to my personal Twitter. Not only like I've shared a couple of photos, like because Twitter, I post my stuff, and I only post like the stuff I'm really like proud of. And everyone on there knows my spirituality and that women and like men, they're not to be sexualized, I guess. So that's why David's saying that's out of, or like that's just me. Like, if it's not in an empowering way or spiritually or in a way that progresses me forward, like what's the point? If it's to gain financially, like why do it, kind of thing. And I feel like that's the exact same for you. Like it's easy for a like photographer at your standard to open up a Patreon and be like, yeah, I'm going to photograph attractive women naked and then make money. But Bruno's not like that. So you should learn from Bruno. Seriously.
I'm still learning too.
No,
But
everyone's
yeah,
learning. I'm learning. You're learning.
yeah,
Everyone's learning.
yeah. Patreon and OnlyFans is not something I can do because
That's why
I would only make money if I would change the way I should, and I don't want to do that.
and we've spoken about this personally,
Yeah,
like stuff. You know, professionals. It's not he's classy. He's just safe towards the industry he works in. Like I work in a certain industry, so I'm very protective of the media that I surround myself in. So if someone said check me, they would not be able to find me on anything like OnlyFans or like that. They can't search my name on that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Look, and it doesn't mean like because I don't do it, it's wrong. No, it's like anyone can do whatever they want. It's
Yeah,
just
I
not what I
agree.
want to do. Um, Also because of the industry and my work, I take photos like what we talked about from the beginning. I take photos of people who are like 85, and I take photos of people who are like 3 months old.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, and I still want to be artistic as well with my own work. So it's very tricky. I can't just go on Patreon and sexualize women and expect to have any work.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, it's unless you only want to do that, and that's what we're
Yeah,
gonna do.
I mean, like
But it's not what
it
I
can
do.
work either way for photographers or girls, especially like in the predicament we're put in right now. There are so many girls who would love to be able to put some of their summer money towards that, and likewise, and do that, but you have to very meticulously like pick your industry and just be aware of things, in sudden change. Like Bruno, you may need to adapt. You may need to do live videos with your ugly model, Annaliese, your Kate Moss.
The ugliest, yes.
Yeah. But seriously, like you just need to have the future in mind. Sorry, I'm shaking because of like I've got a charger plugged in because my phone's a piece of crap. But
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, he has a really cool YouTube channel about film photography, and I've been there like 3 times, I think, as a guest. And it's the same. If you look at his photos, he's empowering people, like women, not just I don't know. Especially like imagine this. I'm shooting someone. I mean, Annalise is old,
yeah,
but
like
but
legit was one of the oldest for Australia's models. I
yeah,
was
but
in the top 25% of old models. Like, wow, I'm in my prime here, by like, woo.
yeah, but like I'm shooting these young girls. Why would they sexualize them? It doesn't make any sense. It's just nah.
I think it's got to be on social media when they can sign up for it and what they see. So that's why I'm very, as of lately, like if I post something like that, advertising, my coffee or my Twitter, like it's never do this because you need this. It's always like some sort of witty thing, but also if you want to see everything, as soon as I've shot it, here's where to go. And it's never in like a detrimental, oh, I'm broke, please, like, whatever. It's always, this is my choice, and I am so happy with what I'm doing, but also I'm working with safe people. If you want to hit up anyone who I mention on Instagram publicly, message them and they will happily shoot. So
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up. We've been talking for an hour and a half. That's what happens to us. We like, oh, let's have a photo shoot, and then we just talk for hours.
Seriously.
Just
So you can post this on yours and yeah.
yeah, and then we can try to send to each other the other ones and post. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can post like if I can send you an hour's worth of footage, but you can redirect people and I can do this sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, we'll find a way. Okay. Just before we go, yeah. So just about Josh. If you guys are into film photography, Josh has like this amazing YouTube channel about film photography. I've been his guest 3 times. It's really cool. It's called Frames Per Second. So just search on YouTube Frames Per Second. And next week, hopefully, Annaliese, if we don't get locked down, we will have some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, we will.
Right?
I mean,
I have a, yeah, I have a face mask, so we should be safe, and a long lens. So yeah, next week we are planning to do a live photo shoot. It's not going to be free though. You need to support us. So, but yeah, we are planning it. So it's supposed to be 2 different photo shoots, one outdoors, one in the studio. But we'll let you know.
More than this idea.
Yeah, we'll let everyone know if we can do it.
If we can, I believe.
I hope so. That's why I want to do it next week before they lock us down.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. For good. Just forever. Just we get left to crumble up and dry out and just.
That's all right. If we get to do it, we will be very safe, and I'm not gonna get too close to London because yeah, but I'll be wearing a face mask. She won't because she will be in the photos.
Your model. I'm just saying social distancing. Like you shouldn't get
yeah,
that.
you shouldn't get too close anyway. So
Bruno's being like, I'm gonna get close, and he's being the social distance. I'm like, when are you gonna get close? That's how you be working professional. Okay.
It's just because I don't use zoom lenses. So if I have to get a tighter crop, I have to actually get closer, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting close.
Like, hey. Anyway, it's been lovely seeing you again, and I hope that everyone's learned something and they go to bed with satisfaction because I've gained a lot today. And
we all did, and yeah, and so Annaliese and I will talk and organize the stuff that we want to do and let everyone know through, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Ooh, I did something. There we go.
Pay attention to the bad. I've been shaking this whole time because my charger was plugged in like a fool, and I'm like, oh wow, I actually look like I have not schizophrenia. I'm just like, anyway. Good evening. I'll let Bruno. He's in charge. Bye.
Au revoir, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. I'll end it. See ya. See ya. Ooh.